And we're live. Hey guys, how are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. Okay. And I also hope you had a nice Christmas with your family if you believe in Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas. I hope you had a good time with your family, with friends, with loved ones. And New Year's coming, and I hope you have amazing plans for New Year. Let me know here in the chat what you are going to do. Now, if you don't have, maybe you're not here watching the live video, maybe you will be watching the replay. It's okay. I hope you enjoy this lesson. It's a master class style. I'm really excited about the master class. And let's see. Hi, everybody. So, another master class, okay? And since it's the end of 2018 and it's almost 2019, just a few more days, 3 or 4 more days, I decided to make a masterclass about future. Exactly. Tell me, when we are going to talk about future, how do you do it? What words do you use to talk about the future? Give me an example here in the chat of how you talk about the future in English. Tell me something in the future for 2019 in the chat. I will be reading some comments and the chat. Not right now, but I will be reading, and there will be a moment where I will answer your questions. And just remember, it's a master class, so I will be answering questions about the lesson. Okay, so ask me as many questions as possible because then I can help you with the subject. Okay. Um, anyway, so how can we talk about the future in English? Many English learners learn how to talk about the future when they are very basic. However, they learn will. That's basically what English learners learn. Will. Do you use will in the future? Answer here in the chat yes. If you use will to talk about the future, type yes here in the chat. We need to get started here in the comments. I see more people are joining. And there's nothing wrong with using will to talk about the future. However, it's not exactly what native speakers use when they are talking about the future. Now, there is a specific moment, specific situations when you should use will, but there are so many possibilities that I will make one masterclass just to talk about will. Okay, today I want to show you a different way to talk about the future. I can see from the chat that some of you already know this conjugation, but I'm going to show you that that is exactly what native speakers use when they are in conversations and when they are talking about the future. So the first thing that I want to make it very clear here is that will is not really your best friend when it comes to talk about future, okay? Okay, Priscilla, so if I should not use will, what should I use to talk about future? Well, today in this masterclass, we are going to talk about two guys that I like very much, be plus going to and present continuous. These are the guys that we are going to use when we talk about the future in English. These are the most popular tenses, the most popular grammar points when we are expressing ourselves in the future. This is what native speakers use in conversations. Oh, teacher Pricks, a grammar lesson. Don't worry, as I'm always telling you, practice makes perfect. We are having an input moment. This is the moment where I'm going to give you information, where I'm going to teach you about be plus going to, present continuous, and the difference between these guys because there is a difference, okay? So here, these are the ones that I'm going to show you, and they are very popular when talking about the future, okay? Nice. So let's focus on be plus going to. When we're talking about the future, here I want to make something very clear. You thought about it, okay? You made a decision. You had an intention. So, for example, I have many plans for 2019, many things that I have already decided that I am going to do. So, you are going to use be plus going to when you have a future plan, something that you decided in your head. Okay, before you are going to talk to someone. So let's imagine you go out and then you meet a friend, and then you want to tell your friend about a future plan that you already decided. Okay, you thought about it and you made the decision. You have to use be plus going to because it's a future intention. It's a decision that you have made about a future situation. The second situation when you are going to use be plus going to is prediction. If you don't know the word prediction, my friend, Google it. Basically, a prediction is something that you believe is going to happen, you expect it to happen. It's something that you believe is going to happen at a certain time in the future. Okay? But we are going to get into more details about what predictions are and future plans and intentions. Okay, we are going to cover all of that. Now, another thing that is important, let's focus a little bit on the structure. Let me take this away for a moment. Yes, okay. So, as I'm saying, we are talking about be plus going to. So, when I say be, we have three conjugations. No, no, no. Be, when I'm trying to say is, am, is, are. So, you are always going to use one of these three guys when you are talking about the future. Remember, a decision that you made, you're going to use be plus going to. So the first thing you're going to use is be. Am is are, not be, okay? You have to conjugate this be. Either am, is, or are. Oh, teacher, why three possibilities? Remember the pronouns. Let me change the color to blue. I am, you are, he, she, it is. We are. You are in the plural. They are. That's what I mean by am, is, are. So you need these guys. Okay? After that, let me go back here. So when you have the verb to be, there you have it, then you are going to use going to. Okay? So this is the structure. This is the future structure. Now that you have this, you need one more thing that is important. You need a verb. What is that? Well, an action, something that you do. Sleep, drink, travel, eat, work, study. You need an action, okay? So you need an action to complete because here am plus going to is only the structure. If you don't inform me, if you don't tell me an action, I can't understand. Okay, so let me give you an example about myself. I'm going to travel next year. So here I am using I am going to, then travel, which is the action of the thing I am going to do. Okay? Now, pay attention. Let's remember when we use be plus going to. I decided this before I told you. I thought about this. I thought about next year and how cool it's going to be if I travel, and then I made the decision. Okay, I am going to travel next year. This is when you are going to use be plus going to. You made a decision, you made a future plan. Okay, you decided you are going to do something. Lolly says that she's going to fly to Canada. You have your ticket already? That's awesome. Congratulations. I hope you have a wonderful time there. So, this is a great example. So, I decided, I planned. Okay. Let's see a different example. Uh, my friends are going to leave Brazil in 2019. Bye bye, Brazil. They are going to leave the country. This is another example. So I use my friends, plural, my friends are going to. So this is the structure. Now I need an action. Leave. They are going to leave. Goodbye. They are going to go away. They are going to leave Brazil in 2019. So this is the structure. If I want to make a negative sentence, all I need to do is make a negative sentence with verb to be. My sister isn't going to look for a job next year. I don't know if she decided to do this or not, okay? But my sister isn't negative, isn't going to look for a job next year. She has decided. Maybe she was talking to me about changing the jobs, going to another company, but then she decided, no, 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 no. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to look for another job, Priscilla. I don't want to do this. So here, if you want to make a negative sentence, you can all you gotta do is change the verb to be into the negative form. So here you have, let me change the color. So here the negative form is simple. Isn't is not, the abbreviation. Aren't are not without the abbreviation. Am not, you can't really abbreviate here. Maybe you could say I'm, oopsie daisy. I am not. So this is the best abbreviation you can make with am. So I'm not, isn't, aren't. So these are the negative forms of verb to be. So if you are making a negative plan, something you are not going to do, all you gotta do is that, okay? If I want to ask you a question, maybe you can answer here in the chat. I'm asking you a question, okay? What are you going to do to improve your English next year? But remember, I want to know something that you have decided, okay? It can't be a quick decision like at this moment. Let me think. Oh, blah, blah, blah. No, you have to think about something you thought about it, something you decided, okay? You gave some thought to it, you planned that, all right? So, what are you going to do to improve your English next year? I want to know here in the chat what you are going to do to improve your English next year. For example, in my case, I'm going to do more grammar exercises. What, teacher Briggs? Well, I'm reading some more advanced novels and studying more advanced vocabulary, and I realized that I need to study more grammar, more advanced grammar. Okay, so me, teacher Briggs, in my level, I'm going to do more grammar exercises, read more grammar. Okay, so this is something that I am going to do next year that I thought about it. Okay, I gave it some thought, I analyzed it, then I decided that I'm going to do that. So, what are you going to do to improve your English? Okay, let me know because after I finish and I start the answer and question session, I will read your comments. Okay, I will be reading what you guys are going to do. Someone is saying, I'm going to study every day to improve my English, I'm going to read more books in English. I'm going to speak better than I do it now. Awesome. So these are some great plans. So the key word here is plan. You plan something, okay? You made a plan. This is the idea of be plus going to. You have a plan in your head, okay? That's the key thing about be plus going to. And will does not give this idea. When you use will, you don't give the idea of planning. That's why be going to is a very good option if you're talking about the future. Okay, now let's suppose you want to ask a question. I just asked, well, not a question. Let's see what else, what other kind of questions we can ask. Well, it depends on the conversation. You know, you could ask, where are you going to live in 2019? Okay. Oh, but teacher, if what if I don't have any plans to change, to move to another city? Then maybe this is not the best question for you. So here you would need to think, okay, am I talking about this with that person? You know, are we talking about moving, going to another place? And then this would be a nice question. If the person told you, if you have a friend you're talking to and your friend said, well, I'm thinking of moving, you know, I'm not happy here anymore. So this would be a good question. So remember, grammar without a context is useless. Okay? If you don't have a clear conversation idea in your head to use that grammar point, you are wasting your time studying that grammar point. What I am showing you today is future be plus going to, but I am showing you scenarios. What are the scenarios I'm showing you? Things you planned, things you have decided. So now, when you are in a conversation with someone in English, or maybe chatting with someone in English, and you want to talk about your future plans, you know what to use because that's when you use be going to. So that's how you study grammar efficiently, okay? When you know why you are going to use that grammar point, in what situations you are going to use that grammar point, okay? Excellent. Then we have be plus going to talk about predictions, okay? Do you know what prediction is? Hmm, interesting. Predictions. Now, here in this context, remember that you believe something is going to happen. Okay, you don't have proof, but you believe something is happening. You're almost certain something is happen. So here you're also going to use be plus going to when, let me, where's my typing thing? Here. When you believe something is certain to happen. Okay? Or maybe you have evidence that it's going to happen. Okay, so this is a situation when you can also use be plus going to. This is a different future scenario. First, we were talking about future plans. Okay, now we are talking about predictions. A prediction here in this context is something you believe is going to happen. You're almost certain it's going to happen. For example, someone said there, I think it's going to rain. So let's imagine I look outside. Here there's a window, and I look outside and I see the sky is cloudy and dark. Hmm, I think it's going to rain. So this is my prediction based on what I see, based on what I feel. So I think it's going to rain. Okay, so this is a very common use of be plus going to. Let's see another example. You are walking down the street, okay? And there you're there walking, thinking in English, why not? And then you see two cars and they are about to crash. So you scream because you're nervous. Oh my God, the cars, they are going to crash. Why can you use be plus going to here? It's a prediction. It's very obvious that it's going to happen. You have evidence. You can see the two cars are going in the same direction. They are going to crash. Okay? So, in these scenarios, when you're making this kind of predictions in the future, you can and should use be plus going to. Okay? And remember, drink water, stay hydrated. Nice. Let's see. Let's leave this alone for a second. Nice. So these are the two possible scenarios for B plus going to. There are more things that you can learn about B plus going to, okay? And I saw that someone, let me go back to the other thing. Um, Many students they ask me, teacher, what about gonna? I hear gonna all the time. I'm gonna study. Well, gonna is an abbreviation here, okay? It's very common in spoken language, informal spoken language. Instead of saying I am going to, I don't know, can I underline this? Instead of saying going to, you say gonna. So you say goodbye to going to and you say gonna. And then if you pay attention, after gonna, no more to. Okay? Only gonna. I'm gonna study. I'm gonna travel. I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna be a great English speaker next year. All right? Oh, teacher, can I say I'm gonna to work? No. Okay, you cannot say that. Why am I saying that? Because this is, you have to use another verb. If you want to use the verb go, then you have to say I'm going. Okay? Not like that. So this is a mistake that I had some students who made it, and it drove me crazy. But they learned, they improved. Uh, Excellent. Now we can go back to what I was going to say. Where is it? Now we can talk about present continuous. I'm giving you some weird grammar names, but hey, relax, okay? I'm gonna explain these guys. You don't need to worry about names, okay? If you think about it, in your language, you probably learned a lot of things. And today, when you use those things, you don't remember the names, you just use them. As a teacher, I like to show the names because it's important, but at the end of the day, you don't need that. Okay, you need to use it. All right, but present continuous is the other option we have to talk about future plans. However, it is a little bit different, okay? And we are going to talk about that now, and I'm going to explain to you why is it different. Guys, if you are enjoying this video, hit the like button because it really helps the channel. I know I always ask you guys, and if you could share this video, invite more people. Right now, I have 45 people watching. Mwah! Thank you very much. My goal for 2019 is to get 100 people watching the live videos. And I know we can do this. These videos are nice. I will keep making live videos, but I hope that this number can increase. So bring more people to the class, to this online class. Very nice. So the present continuous is a little bit different from be plus going to. And you will see that the difference is very simple. And many books, if you think about grammar books and explanation, that give explanation and details, many books will say that the difference is very small. Okay, very, very small, but there is a difference, and we have to talk about that. Well, in what situations are you going to talk about you're going to use present continuous? the key here is when you're talking about the future with present continuous, you are talking about travel arrangement, not travel arrangement, sorry, future arrangements. What is that? Remember that when I talked about B plus going to, I said that you needed to decide, basically that you made a decision and that was it. Here, it's a little more. You made the decision and you started making some preparation, some arrangements for that future plan. So, this is the biggest difference between be plus going to and present continuous. Present continuous indicates future arrangements, preparation. You are already working to make that future plan happen. When you're using be plus going to, you just decided. You just made the decision. Did you start working to make that happen? No, not really. Okay, but you decided. You made the decision. You thought about it. Now, here it's a little different. It gives me the idea that you are already doing what you need to do to make that plan happen. Okay? Another thing that is very common with present continuous is that we have some time expressions that are very popular with present continuous. Now, these time expressions can be used with be plus going to, no problems, but they are very common with present continuous, okay? But now let's take a moment here to review B plus going to, sorry, B plus going to, no, to review present continuous, because maybe you don't know these names, which is normal, okay? You don't need to know these definitions, present perfect, continuous, you need to use it. So what is that? The structure, no, okay, purple. No, I don't like this purple. I want a different color. Ooh, pink. Okay. Be plus verb ing. This is present continuous, okay? Basically, you have verb to be plus another verb in the gerund form. This is present continuous. And remember when I talk about be, oopsie days. When I am talking about verb to be, I'm talking about these guys. Am, is, are. Okay? So verb to be, am, is, are plus verb ing. This is present continuous. As a beginner, you learn that present continuous is basically used to talk about progress, activities that are happening now in this moment. But that's not the goal here. You learn this and it's correct. You can use present continuous to talk about the moment right now, to talk about something that is happening now. Like, for example, right now I am giving you a class. I am giving you a class about future. So it's present continuous. I'm doing this now. I'm focusing on the progress. Now, the focus of this lesson is to show you that present continuous will be used to talk about future arrangements that you're going to do in the future. And what's the difference between be plus going to and future arrangements with present continuous? Be plus going to, you thought about it and you made the decision, but you didn't start doing anything about it. Now, present continuous, on the other hand, you decided, and I have the idea, I understand that you may have already started doing something about it. Okay? For example, my friends are getting married next summer. Isn't it beautiful? So, my friends are getting married next summer. So, when I tell a friend, when I am in a conversation and I say that and I speak this phrase, the person who is listening will understand that my friends made this plan and they are already working on making this plan happen. Okay, so it's this idea that I'm trying to show you. You probably started working. And if you think about it, if the person is going to marry next summer, well, they need to start working, buying things, booking places. It's a lot of work to get married. Okay, so this is when you use present continuous. Now, another thing, as I said, that is very common is to use it time expressions. Now, it's very common to use time expressions with present continuous. Okay, for example, tomorrow, tonight, this weekend, specific days. Specific dates. My friends are, let's go back to the example. My friends are getting married. My friends are getting married on June 3rd. So here, let me. My friends are getting married on June 3rd. So I gave you a specific date because I already planned and I arranged that event to happen on June 3rd. Okay, so this is the difference between present continuous and be plus going to. However, that's why I say the difference is small, because if you think about it, you have decided when you're using be plus going to, you have already made the decision, so maybe you are already doing something about it. And if you use be plus going to talk about a plan that you are already working on, it's okay. No problems at all. It's fine. What is not fine is if you use will. Will is not the best guy here when we're talking about future plans. Okay? If you're talking about future plans, then it's better to use be plus going to and present continuous. I don't know if you can hear, but there's a car driving by and it has a very loud music. I am an auditory person, and when I hear loud music, I lose my focus completely. Like, it's unbelievable how loud music drives me crazy. Unless I am in a concert or having fun or something, but in general, if I'm working or reading or studying, and a car drives by with loud music, I feel like dying. All right. So these time expressions are very common when you're using present continuous, when you're talking about future plans, future arrangements. Okay, arrangement is a very important word because it implies preparation. Okay. So I am seeing my friends tonight. Okay. I am seeing. In this case, the verb see is not really the ability to see. Okay. Many English learners see the verb to see and they believe it's only related to the ability of seeing, and it's not. When you use the verb see like that, it means I am getting together. I am meeting. I am meeting my friends tonight. Okay, so I am seeing my friends tonight. So tonight is a very popular time expression that when you're talking about the future, you use be you use be plus verb ing, you use present continuous. Okay, if I want to ask you, hey guys, what are you doing tonight? I don't want to know right now. I want to know your plans for tonight. For example, right now here in São Paulo is 9 p.m. So after the class, I have plans. So what am I doing tonight? I am doing stuff. Okay? So what are you doing tonight? Let me know here in the chat. And remember, use present continuous. I am meeting my friends. I am studying English. I am watching a movie tonight. I am making some food tonight. Okay? Now, Felipe, I saw that you said, what will you do tonight? That's not really the question because will doesn't give that idea. If you were in a conversation and you said, "What will you do tonight?" the person would totally understand. Okay? This would not stop conversation, this would not stop communication. However, it's not the correct way to ask that kind of question. So I would say, "What are you doing tonight?" Okay? Very well. Let's see what else I have for you guys here because I forgot my stuff. Ah, yes. So let's go back to the file. Great. Um, okay, so basically the biggest difference between be plus going to is that be plus going to indicates that a decision has been made. You decided. You made a future plan. Now, present continuous indicates a future arranged. Sorry, a future arrangement. Something that you have planned and organized, not just here, but in the outside world. You are doing things to make that plan happen. Okay? Very well. Now, one thing that I talked about in my previous master class, and I'll be making several master classes. I'll be making a lot of these master classes, so make sure to watch these master classes. Okay, they are there. There will be all kinds of subjects, and you can also give suggestions and stuff like that. But I talked about output learning and input learning when you're studying not just a language but anything in life. Just a quick review. Input learning is everything you receive, output learning is everything you use, okay? Everything you put out, okay? Outside. Now, how can you practice future plans? I don't have the easiest solution. Well, actually it's simple, but it may not always seem easy for some learners. The best way to practice future plans is to make future plans. Yay! Start planning your life. Now let's start with some motivational video. Are you feeling lost? Are you tired of your life? Start making plans and practice English at the same time. Guys, there's no better way to improve your future plans use than actually talking about your future plans. So my recommendation is I have a journal, okay? Every morning I not this is just an example, okay? Every morning I pick my journal, I open it, and I start writing in English, of course. And I make plans. I make plans of things I'm going to do. Sometimes I talk about more serious plans of things that I intend to do in the future, in 5 years, 2 years. But here, if you are studying English and you want to improve talking about future, reviewing the structure, the best way for you to feel more comfortable doing that is by having an output moment, using that. But it's not only sitting down and creating examples. I'm going to work. My sister's going to travel. I am going to eat. My friend is going to New York. No, that's not what I mean by practicing. You need to think about yourself. Bring English to your life. How can you connect future plans to your life, to your dreams, to your objectives, to your aspirations? And then you can start writing. Okay? So if you want to practice the present continuous, ask yourself, write down, what am I doing tonight? Well, tonight I am calling my sister because I want to go to the movies. Then I am cooking dinner because I saw this recipe and it's really nice. After that, I am going to the movies. So you see, create something that is connected to your life. Because if you only sit down and create examples about Jacks and Jameses and Marys that you don't know, you will never learn. You will just have these weird examples that have no value to your English improvement. So, this is the best way to improve that, okay? To use, to really practice. Now, writing, Writing is definitely one way to practice output, to use the information. But remember when the previous masterclass I talked about the power of cell phones and how you can use an application, an app, and download a recorder and record your voice. One day I'm going to share my recordings with you guys so that you can see that I'm not kidding. When I want to practice my speaking and I don't have a student available or someone to talk to me, I record my voice and I create the subject, what I'm going to talk about. In this case, let's see, future plans. I open the recorder, I push record, and then okay. So I'm going to be very busy this weekend because I am visiting my parents. Then I am calling my best friend in the countryside, and we are going to stay together and talk. So I start planning. Okay. And after I record, after I finish recording, I listen to myself and then I pay attention. Oh, okay. In this moment, my voice was strange. Okay. Oh, no, 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 no. In this part, this word, I don't understand myself. Oh, here, no, this phrase is not good. I give myself some feedback so that next time I practice, I can do better. Okay. So consider that. Very, very well. Now, the best time of this live masterclass. My A to your Q. It's time, my friends. My A to your Q. You're my answer to your question. I want to see questions about the subject. Remember that. That's very important. So, what are your questions about this subject? You can start asking because I will start answering. Because if you don't, I'll have to go. Where is the chat? Um, Thank you, people, for joining. I saw some examples that you gave me. I'm reading an English book. I'm going to dance. I'm drinking red wine with my friends. That's wonderful. I'm here waiting for questions about the lesson. Okay? Give me the questions and I'll give you the answers. I'll try. No questions. Oh my God. You understood everything? You have no questions about future? This is so incredible. You let me go early tonight? Felipe, do I have to use time expressions when I use be plus going to? It depends, okay? It depends on the conversation. If it's important for the person, for the listener to know that time, then you have to say it, okay? I'm going to travel. I'm going to travel. I'd say I tell my friend I'm going to travel. If you don't know when you're traveling, you just decided, then you don't have the time to tell the person the time. But if you are in a conversation when it's important to say when, then go ahead, say it. Next July, in 2 weeks, in 3 months, in June. So use the time expression if it's important in your message to tell the person who is listening to you. Okay? Maybe you are writing an email at work and it's important to mention the time, then do it. Okay? How to make questions about present continuous? Do I have to use them? Anos, when you say, can I make a story? It depends. I don't understand your question. Can you explain to me a little better? Okay, what about instant decisions? For example, in a restaurant, how do you say, I changed the dish? Okay, so if you are in a restaurant and you want to change the dish, I would you don't even need to use present future for that. Let me get here to my scenario one. If you are in the restaurant and you decided to change your plate, you can call the waiter and say, "Hey, I changed my mind. Can I have the tuna salad?" That's it. If you changed your mind, you're in a restaurant, you go and say, "Hey, excuse me, sorry, I changed my mind. Can I have the tuna salad?" That's it. Great. You don't need to use present continuous or be plus going to talk about that. Okay? Now, when we're talking about quick decisions, we may not always use uh, be plus going to. Okay? You use other, how am I going to put this? You're going to use another future. You're going to use will. You know what? I will have the tuna salad. Let's say you're talking to the waiter and you want to say to him, "Hey, I changed my mind. I'll have the tuna salad. Thank you." Okay? So you can use when you want to make a quick decision, you are going to use will. If it's a decision you are now at the moment that you're speaking, you are going to use will, not be plus going to. Okay? Uh, Anos, how can I make a story about my day in the present continuous? If you want to make a story about your day using future, you have to think about future. Okay? So if you wake up today, you can maybe write on a piece of paper, what am I doing today? Today is a time expression. What am I doing today? Well, I am working from 5 to 10, from 7 to 10 a.m. Then I'm going to a restaurant to have lunch. After that, I'm meeting some clients at 3 p.m. Then I'm going home for dinner. After that, I'm watching a movie, and then around 11, I'm going to sleep. I'm sleeping. So you need to think about the activities that you're going to do. So you can create a story, but you need to think about the activities. But it's possible, okay? Uh, let's see. More questions about the lesson, okay? Felipe, I will make a video just to talk about will because there are many different uses of will. Actually, I have a video here on my channel where I talk about 5 different uses of will. That's a great video if you want to learn more about how to use will. Go to YouTube bar and type 5 different uses of will teacher pricks and you will see the video. But basically, will is a quick decision that you made the decision at the moment you are speaking. This is one use of will. There are more uses of will, but as I said, because there are many, I'm not going to focus on will today. See, I used be going to because I had decided before the class that I was not going to talk about people is going to, about will because it's a long class. It would take me more time to talk about will. But there is that video if you want to watch it already. But I am going to do a video about will, a masterclass video about will. You see, I used be plus going to again. Why? Because I planned this, I decided. Did I start working on the video? No, not yet. I still have to do the preparation. I haven't prepared anything yet. The issue is, I'm talking about the waiter. There's a fly in the soup. Sorry, I'll change the plate. It's fine. You can say that. Okay? Quick decision. You are deciding at the moment you are speaking, so you can use will. You didn't plan to have a fly in the soup. hopefully. So it is a quick decision. You are the waiter is deciding at the moment he is speaking. Will is fine. There are other explanations. Not this is not the only explanation about will, but as I said, this is not the focus. Uh, any more questions about present continuous and be plus going to? Juan, you said, how can I make questions about present continuous? Well, it depends. When we think, how can I make questions? I need to think about a subject, okay? Let's imagine here, present continuous. What are you, what are you doing tonight? Okay? I want to know a plan that you have for tonight. So, thinking it's not about how you ask questions. Don't think about how you ask a question in English. Think about what situation you are going to talk about. Because if you just think about the question, you're not thinking about a conversation. And it's more important for me to have a conversation idea because when I have a conversation idea, it's easier for me to give you a question. For example, let's imagine I am in the office and then I see a colleague and I ask, "Well, are you talking to Peter this afternoon? Are you talking to Peter this afternoon?" Teacher, well, let's imagine the story, okay? I see my colleague and then I'm curious. Maybe there's a problem going on, something is happening, and then I go to Peter, I go to my friend and I say, "Hey, are you talking to Peter this afternoon? I know, I heard about the problem. So, are you talking to Peter?" I want to know. So here I ask the question. I need to think about the situation. If I think about the situation, then it's easier to ask a question. Now, one important thing that I forgot to mention when you're talking about present continuous, to give the idea of future arrangement, I need a time expression, okay? In most situations, like 99% of the time, okay, unless it's I can understand from the conversation, but in most conversations you need the time expression because if I just say are you talking to Peter, depending on the context it's not very clear for me if it's future or if it's right now. So remember the time expression. Just in case, use it all the time. It is possible not to use it, but just in case, until you feel more comfortable, use time expressions if you're using present continuous to talk about future plans, future arrangements. Okay? Excellent. Well, one more question before I go about the lesson. Any other question? My goodness, you guys are so smart. Calvin says, can you predict the future? If I have a crystal ball, I can predict the future. No, when I say predict the future here, I'm talking about things that I believe are going to happen or that I have some evidence that is going to happen. Okay, so this is the kind of prediction that I am talking about. It's something that I believe it's going to happen or something that I have some proof, I have some evidence that it's going to happen. That's the prediction idea. Okay, the fortune teller example. Let's imagine a fortune teller. Do you know what a fortune teller is? A fortune teller is a person, hmm, supposedly, okay? Is a person who tells the future. This person, I don't know, reads your hand or the crystal ball and tells you the future. Okay? Let's imagine a conversation between a fortune teller and me. Okay, I go there, I visit the fortune teller, and I say, please tell me about my future. I want to know what is going to happen to me next year. Okay, next year. Nice. So, what is the fortune teller going to say? Oh, teacher Pricks, you are going to have a wonderful year. You are going to become a blah, blah, blah. You are going to do blah, blah, blah. You are going to have blah, blah, blah. And why is that? Because she's making the fortune teller, the imaginary fortune teller, is making a prediction. Okay, now in this case, the fortune teller doesn't have any proof or any evidence. Okay, but in conversations in English, if you want to use be plus going to give the idea of prediction, you need some evidence. Okay. uh Gino, I'm seeing my son tonight, or I'm going to see my son tonight. You can use both. However, it's more appropriate, it's more common to say, I am seeing my son tonight. That's basically what native speakers say. The expression tonight is more common with present continuous. Okay, period. You can say that I'm going to see my friends tonight. It's possible people will understand, but it's better, it's more common to say, I'm seeing my son tonight. Okay? Luciano, is there a simple rule to going to and will? Yes. Will, you don't plan. Going to, you planned. Basically that. Okay? With will, there's no plan. With going to, you planned. Here, you decided in your head. Okay? And with will, not really. Okay? A basic explanation. Of course, there are more things, but this is a very simple rule that I carry here in my heart because it helps me a lot. Okay? Uh, can you say, did you plan to talk to Peter tonight? Is it better than use? Um, You could say, did you plan to talk to Peter tonight? But remember, the focus is present continuous. I'm giving you an option of something you can say. And remember, the more things you learn in a language, the more grammar points you learn in a language, the more flexibility you have to make different sentences. Okay? You could say it's not my favorite way to ask that question because it usually confuses speakers when I use simple past like that, but you can. I would rather say, are you talking to Peter tonight? Do you plan talking to Peter tonight? Are you thinking about talking to Peter tonight? I would ask in a very different way. This was just an example, okay? Last question before I leave. One more question before I go. You guys are becoming very creative with the questions. No more questions. Oh, so I'm gonna go. Very well, guys. So that was my answer to your Q, my A to your Q. And remember, I have an ebook where I give a lot of strategies and instructions on how to improve your English and become a fluent speaker. It's a very complete guide, 62 pages, okay, 61 or 62 pages with a lot of explanations, ideas, suggestions of how to become a fluent speaker, what exactly you need to do. Okay, now if you want to be part of that, if you want to receive that ebook, you have to subscribe to my email list. It's free. Okay, the link is in the descriptions of this video, but I am going to share here with you Every week, besides the ebook, you will receive the ebook, but you will also receive some cool emails, some lessons, vocabulary lists, videos. So it's a nice place to interact, okay? So make sure to subscribe to that. And when you apply, you will receive a confirmation email, okay? Make sure to check your inbox and your spam box. Unfortunately, many of my emails go to spam box, so check your spam box to see the the confirmation email, and only after you confirm you will receive the ebook. Okay, you could say, Philippe, just to finish, you could say happy holidays. Okay, this would be you could say happy new year. Okay, but if you are wishing, oops, but if you are wishing in general, you could say happy holidays. All right. Awesome, guys. That is all for today. Have a wonderful night if it's night for you. Have a wonderful morning if it's morning for you. Other than that, this was the last video of the year. Awesome. Happy New Year, and I will see you next year in 2019. Thank you. Bye bye.